Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And as always, we appreciate everyone that's been tuning in through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG. As you can see on the bottom banner, you can go to our website, hhdgmedia.com, which has our previous written interviews, music, our merchandise, and also our upcoming events. As always, this is made possible through our company, HHDG Media, Inc. So always a big shout out to Rock Vader KB, Skelly Top, The Mayor, T. Smith, and myself, Wiki. For tonight, we have a very experienced artist who has shown what not just growth can bring to the music, but also the maturity in understanding the business. Starting off early on with a certain well-known artist by the name of Lord Finesse, who, if y'all tune into Twitch, is always doing this thing on Saturday afternoons. They did a ill joint together off the Awakening called Speak Your Peace. I know bringing up that album and that song, I know people will definitely go and jogging in their memories about that. Also working with the likes of Khalees, Royce the 5'9", rest in peace, Big L, and many more. And throughout the career, also working behind the scenes, doing a lot of songwriting as well, which we'll talk about. And also, again, just being able to learn more about the business side of things and putting forth that effort into the new music, like a new project, Black Orphan, which dropped on August 4th of this year. And you can also get that vinyl right now through the Rap Winkle. I'll put the link up later on for that. And one of the most important things is running and owning your own business, which we'll talk about that as well. So that company will be Blockshare Incorporated. And we'll talk a little bit about a history as well in the past of trials and tribulations and that those learning experiences to where she is now. So without further ado, repping Queens, I'd like to introduce Marquee.
Hey, what up? How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good tonight.
Good. Now, before we talk about the new album, I want to give my condolences once again, because when I first reached out to you, I didn't know when around the time that the album came out what had happened. So, again, my condolences.
Yeah, so the album was supposed to drop a few years ago, but then our next release date was August, I believe, August 1st. And there were so many things that just delayed it, haphazard things. And by the time we got everything straightened out as far as the kinks, it was August 15th was the actual date everything really was available and dropped. Ironically, that was the day my dad passed, who you were referring to. So in art imitating life for me, I actually did become a Black orphan on that day the album dropped.
Sorry to hear
Can't
that.
make
Like,
this up.
wow.
Can't make this up.
And you can't make that up.
No, I was just like, this can't be real. Like, really? This just happened? Yes, this just happened.
Wow.
The universe, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I mean, I'm very strong. My dad, I carry on the way that I know he would want me to. We had a lot of talks. Um, he was 79. Uh, when you're at peace, you're at peace. Transitions for people, they're never easy, but they become easier when you understand a lot of things about life and the law of nature. It's much more in the train of things that you your parents go before you, right?
Right.
So I
Hmm.
find comfort in that. Neither of my parents had to had to do that.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
a change in command. That's all that happens.
Right. Right.
One day you gonna become pop pop, and your wife will be big mama. That's just what happens if it
Right.
happens the natural
Yeah.
way.
Yep. That's definitely natural order of things.
Hmm.
And what type of wisdom would you say he provided for you? You know, throughout your years, more
I mean, I
so
found out a lot.
as an adult woman now, looking back.
I found out a lot more. You find out more. After someone passes on. Definitely his energy. The most like him. We always would joke about that. And I'm a female, so that was just like our gag. Like he's like, that's what scares me about you. You're just like me, and you know what I mean. But you're a female, and then it's like the Native American part. It's like the fire, and then you know the black side. There's fire, and then
Mm.
it's just we would talk about that. And my uncle told me his name was Lorenzo, and my people call him Larry, and my uncle would joke and say, well, he told me after, he's like, he said he was the real Larry from the Stylistics. When we would perform, he would light up, and I never got to see that, but to hear that story was really, really cool.
Nice, nice. Mm. So what
Definitely
got you?
charisma,
Yeah, it
and not
sounds
to
like
be
it. Yeah.
afraid. But one of the things that I can say that I remember the most is him saying, Marquita, let people love you.
Mm. Let people love you. I like that. That's powerful. Mm.
I just gave out my government, y'all.
What got you into MCing?
The story begins. Well, I was always writing or singing. Actually, I started out singing. I was the first soprano too, and tapping around and dancing and all of that stuff. And I started writing in a diary, and then I would write poetry. And then when I was in Redfern after my parents' divorce, I was writing cheers, and we were battling the girls in the back building. So doing that, I was in storytelling contests, things like that. And music was always a part of my life. My mom was a music lover. I heard great musicians. She made her own mixtapes in the house. And people would hear it. Well, like in the lunchroom, someone asked me, and I said it, and they were just like, but I wanted to be a writer. Like that was always my, and I was kind
Yeah.
of pushed
Yeah.
to the fore. I wasn't kind of. I was pushed to the forefront because when I would write things too, people couldn't say it the way I would.
Hmm.
Isn't that just a it? So cheers and poems and music, art, all intertwined.
All in fine. Yeah. Wow. Nice. Nice. So what were you writing about back then when it came to music?
Mostly, well, I mean, same things you write about now. There's only a couple things you can write about in
Hmm.
variation. My life, things that were going around me, things that were inside of me that I wanted to get out. Some things that came out of my journal, my diary. I have to constantly write things down because I constantly am creating. I get inspiration from a lot of different things.
Hmm. Shout out to NJ the AK tuning in.
Hello, everybody. I can't really see who's tuning in on your side, but on IG, what up, y'all? What up on YouTube?
So now you just mentioned about battling, and if anyone listens to your music, you have that ability to hold your own and be able to be diverse with content, the storytelling, and the bars. So, how was your approach? Because MCing is a competition, no matter where you are. So, when it comes to battling, how did you approach it?
Well, in battling, I was taught by Ness was my mentor, right?
Hmm.
So that's always been in my arsenal. It's funny that you can see that inside of my music because that's kind of the secret weapon that people don't see that in my music, you know. But battling is an art form, I think. I think there's different kinds of battle
Definitely.
rap,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And I think there's components that are necessary. And anything you practice that. I mean, I practice all different types of writing styles, but battling is really fun because I get to be someone else, just like on my albums. And when people ask me to do different voices for their records, like people don't know that about me, but I like um, being different people on the record, especially that's different from my real personality.
Now, outside of MCing, was any instruments that you played or know how to play?
Everything I did do is by ear. If you include banging on the lunchroom table, I'm dope. But when I'm making music, I do sometimes, when you're working with a producer or you're working with a songwriter, arranger, you okay, do it this way, or you hear things
Right.
and you
Hmm.
become part of the production. My ear, I trained that.
That's good. That's good. Because I mean, listening to Femme Fatale, listening to Black Orphan, you definitely know how to select the production and the producers.
Thank you. I call myself a beat snob. That's the best way
Got to
I
be.
can explain it to especially new producers that send me tracks. I'm just like, I'm gonna let you know at the gate I'm a beat snob. Meaning, don't come to me with no I got a little education background, when it comes to that, the tap tap tap. So, if you got horns that don't make sense, I don't like to shoot down people's dreams. So what I do
Mhm.
say is I'll say something like if a band can't play it, you know, does it make sense? And then I have them, think about it and try to or I'll say go listen to musicians that you like on records.
Right, right. Hmm. Now on Femme Fatale, which dropped in 2017, you had Lord Finesse, Kyo Itachi, and Venom, which the two go by also in Injustice, um, handle the production on there. Coming
Yes.
up with come
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
that's all right. I was gonna say coming up with Lord Finesse. How was that seeing his process of production?
A learning
Yeah.
experience. I
Hmm.
call in my training camp. I can't give away his secrets because every
Nah, you
producer
don't
I
have to give
know
away.
they
I'm just
they have they have everybody has their process. They have like their different way of doing things, but it definitely encouraged me to write more because when you're hearing someone making beats from scratch, oh, what else you gonna do? I mean, if you're a creative person, I'm sitting there like it takes hours. You know what I mean? So I would just sit
right,
there and
right.
I would just start writing. At first, they were ignoring me. It wasn't. They were just saying, yeah, yeah. So I had to keep working and working and working and working until they were like, okay. Didn't get handed to me, trust me.
And I know I'm trying to remember what track it was. I have to look again. But I know on the new album you spoke about how you came up, and that is part of what makes you Marquee. There was a lot of trials and tribulations. There was times, just being a female, and also dealing with the music industry early on. There's a lot that encompass who you are. Um, what would you say is something that you learned from all of that you would give an up and coming female artist?
Um, First and foremost, always put the music first. Put the music first, block out the noise, and keep your legs closed. The last one was raunchy but real.
It it's got
No
to
room
be.
for that.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a male artist, first two would be the same. Last one would just be switched. Focus.
Hmm.
Think king. Think queen.
Think of your body as a temple.
I mean, it's not even that. It's not a social lounge. Like I take my work very seriously.
Hmm.
So when I work with people or I mentor them, I'm preparing them for that. You have to go in rooms. People put millions of dollars on the table for you. You can't go in there playing around. It's not a dating
Right.
show.
Hmm.
People, especially for a female, you need to be taken seriously from the door. We have to work twice as hard, be twice as nice, and sometimes it's still you got to finagle. You gotta get through. People gotta want to. I mean, can I curse? People gotta
Yeah,
want
it's
to
okay.
f you, but not. If that makes any sense. You can be a mom, maybe, but then that kind of shifts. Then you got to be mature. These females now they have a lot more freedom than we had. As far as we can get pregnant and do a record, you'd be lost in the sauce,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But now things, thank God, are a little different for them when it comes to things like that. But in any industry that you go in, my main advice would always be focus, because there's always a lot of people around with a lot of their own kind of agendas and their own kind of things, and fame is addictive, you know and you can watch somebody that's so humble just turn into a complete monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
But that must mean they were fake humble,
True. Yep.
because I think fame makes you be who you really want to be.
Definitely makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
And would you say that this understanding also helped you establish your own company, Blockshare Inc?
That's a gradual thing. Most things in my life happen naturally in that way, where I decided to put everything together. When you're an artist, you use the left side of your brain. Most of the time, most artists are good at more than one thing. They have creative talent in more than one thing. I went to the high school fashion industries, and I did music and writing. So putting it all together and being a natural teacher and liaison and just very good at networking and putting people together and event planning had me birth Blockshare Inc., which is a multimedia company that deals with mentoring and putting out projects. I just opened a studio. Actually, we did a soft opening, Marquee Melody Studio. It's going to be in New Jersey. I'm going to talk more about that. We had an awesome session. So things kind of evolve. I have a bigger plan. I have a bigger destiny. There's just something that drives me that I can't really explain it, but people that have it know what I mean.
Hmm. How did you meet Venom and Kyo Itachi?
Another thing with like the universe, they reached out to me. I was in a non-music. I wasn't doing music. It was like 8 years. It was a long time. It was after the bruising of going through the major labels and the production deal and the managers and the group and all of that stuff. I just was just I just Actually, other artists know what I'm saying. I wasn't doing music.
Hmm.
They reached out to me and wanted to do a record with me, and actually before them too, DJ DeVito, I got a shout out to him. Those two people came at the same
Big
time
shout out to
and
you.
just were like, "Yo, come do a record." And then Injustice, they were like, shout out to Venom and Keo. They were just like, "Let's just do a record." They wanted to do the whole record. And me forming my story, Femme Fatale is full circle of people that I wanted to work with and tell the story from the beginning. So that's how Lord Finesse, I wanted to go back to my roots. So he was the only outside producer. But before that, I did a mixtape for DJ Davido.
That's dope. Dope.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
brought me out of, yeah, you just never know.
that's ill. And I put the link up for the album Femme Fatale, which you don't have to speak on the group, but um, what happened, of putting that name for the album and then the past with the group name as well.
Well, me and one of the girls in the group, we came up with the name. We had a
Hmm.
few names. We had a few different group member changes. And um, I was on different records using different aliases. So it was at the time when it was like really cool to be like Nas is Esco and everybody had an alias. So
Yeah.
I would do songs and I would one of them was like Robin Banks or I would say something like lady. So one story, I was in the studio with Dalvin from Jodeci. Shout out to Dalvin. We were on a Quincy Jones soundtrack for Sprung, and the beginning of the rhyme for the song, I'm like, Lady Scarface cannot lace all that without the hard face. And Scarface was actually in the studio with his producers. He came in, he's listening, and he thought my name was Lady Scarface, right? Which would have been dope, right?
Look at
But
that.
right. But so, then on the Royce the 5'9" record, somebody put I was La Femme Nikita. I'm like, for sure that's I'm in the group. I was La Femme Marquita. You know what I mean? So, and then people would just put whatever like Marquita featuring Marquita. I'm on Kaleidoscope on Khalees's album, and so I wanted to tie them all together under the umbrella so people could actually put all that together and really realize who it is because
Hmm.
I had an argument with somebody online. He was telling me I wasn't in the group Femme Fatale. I said for sure I was. I mean, he got really indignant. I said, he said no because we did on the Clue tape. We did the Styles P and Jadakiss joint. You know what I'm saying? Me and Scarlett. So we did that, and it was tight. So people thought it was one person.
Wow.
So he going back and forth with me, and I said for sure it was both of us, and there was three of us. And oh man, it was bad. He started like talking about my mom before she passed. It was crazy. I said
Oh my
people,
goodness.
yeah, yeah. So that was mainly the main reason. It's all my albums they follow each other. So that was a full circle. So even in picking the artists, the and the production, I kept that in mind.
Sorry. 8 years you said it was that you weren't doing music, and then you came with the Femme Fatale. Um, in between that time, was there any songwriting that you did for anybody?
It was darkness. It was when
Okay.
my mom died when I
Okay.
was 27.
I'm sorry.
So it was a
Mm,
dark period. I wasn't feeling very creative.
mm, understood.
A lot of like rock and roll stuff. You know what I mean? I wouldn't recommend.
I get it. I get it. So after Femme Fatale, who was reaching out to you? Any new people that you haven't collaborated with that was starting to reach out?
Yeah, so after Femme Fatale, people would reach out for interviews, for features. It's hard to remember. I mean, I'm not trying to sound any kind of way, but it's quite a few people
Mhm.
after that, that I worked with, and then I started working on my record, and then all on the new record, and things happened. Granddaddy IU passed. A couple people passed away during the making of this record. Rest in peace to him. He was the project manager in the start of the record, and
Wow.
then um, Jimmy Varner passed. He played. I'm not sure if he played on there, and there was like some technical things going on and stuff. So yeah,
Mm.
kind of lost my train of thought.
That's all right. It's all right.
I was saying that to say it was a labor of love, and a lot of things came in between that, and then the Beat Miners came on and helped me bring it to the finish line.
Nice, nice.
Shout out to Mr. Walt, DJ
Yes,
Eagle
indeed.
D,
Yes,
Jake
indeed.
Palumbo, Space Lab Studios, Mark
Yes,
Dorsey
indeed.
did the mastering. A
Shout out
lot
to
of
Jake.
great people worked on this record. Thank you to everyone.
Mm. I just saw Jake perform last Friday at a Secret Pour in Brooklyn for Honey De Niro's album release party. He also did engineering work on her new album with Team Demo. He's very professional and he gets the job done, and that's why people continue to seek out his skills. Femme Fatale, I didn't get a chance to get it out, but I do have the CD. I never got a chance to get that ill pink vinyl that's been out, and I've been still seeking that one out.
Well, I have the vinyl. I don't know if this is the pink one. Let me see. I don't think this one is open either. It's not open. Oh no, wait, it is open. Is this the pink one? No, it's not open. But this was the last one that I had,
Hmm.
and then the new one is like awesome. Like shout out to the Rap Winkle. They did their thing.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
It's
indeed.
the plastic is just amazing. The detail. Um, Shout out to the people that did all the artwork, and Photo Rob. Shout out to Photo Rob. He did the photo
Photo
shoot.
Rob's the one that did the photos. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, he
I'm
did.
familiar with Photo Rob. Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
And Jelly did the graphic arts.
Oh, nice, nice. Yep,
Yeah.
familiar with them as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Photo Rob. I see him at a lot of events. He's definitely
Hip hop all the way.
yes,
It was
exactly,
an
and he's
honor working with him. He's so
always
creative and so easy to work with.
yes, indeed, and he's capturing so much history. So
Right.
big
In an
salute to Photo
amazing
Rob.
way.
Yes, indeed, indeed. So how did you link up with the Rap Winkle for releasing your new album, Black Orphan?
When I did Femme Fatale, I believe that, yep, Keo and Venom were working with Bass Harris. Shout out to Bass Harris. They were working with him, and he reached out to me and wanted to collaborate and do an album with me. So we did a 50-50 uh, record. So he's more than just the vinyl distributor on this record. If you read
Hmm.
the credits.
All right, nice, nice. You said with Femme Fatale, it was the album of people that you wanted to work with. I feel that Black Orphan is a continuation of that. I mean, you have Monifa, Rel, Only Love, Shorty No Mas, the Beat Miners, like you mentioned. I mean, Jake One. We'll talk more about the other features and producers, but tell us, how it came, the whole album came to be, and who did is this everyone that you wanted on here?
It's right. It's a continuation of Femme Fatale, uh, which is why the intro starts with Lil Key, and I'm doing the cheers. Right, that was me with the different voices, and we did that in the booth actually, which was so much fun. So it was a different sound for this next record. I wanted it to be big, musical, and then I wanted to reach out to people I hadn't worked with yet, and kind of mix it in. People that went along with the sound that I was trying to create for the record. Like I said, big and musical.
Nice, nice. And it also feels like an entire cohesive story of your life, and not just your life, but if anyone's listening to this is also like a teaching tool in a sense, a bit of a mentor.
Right. I did mention I'm a natural teacher, right?
Hmm.
Yes. So yeah, you read into it. Cautionary tales are in there. There's life experience, other people's life experiences. There's feel good records and inspirational records. Um, yeah, I think there's something relatable in there for everyone. But most importantly, it all came from the heart and the soul and the words that come from God through me.
Beautiful, yeah. Yeah. One of my favorites is Step by Step.
Rockweiler produced that. Shout out to Rockweiler. Yeah, I love that record. That record, we battled over it, but I love the way it came out. We were both right because it is a standout record. People like it. And shout out to Melissa Music, um, featured on that record. That was also the record that Jimmy Varner had played tracks on. I'm not, yeah, but she sings in Sting's band, and she's an amazing vocalist. Everybody go check out Melissa Music.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. And the all-female lyrical barbed wire with Shorty Nomas and Moni Love.
Yeah.
That that's another one of my joints. And I got the honor of interviewing Shorty Nomas. So I definitely enjoy that, you know, hearing her, never missed a step when you listen to her. And
So on
y'all,
every album,
uh-huh.
I want to incorporate um, a track with all females, right? So I did that on Femme Fatale, and on this record, Lyrical Barbed Wire. Um, so Mr. Walt and I, the professor, we brainstormed on who to put together for the record. So we got Philly, we got Moni, we got London, Philly, and Queens. And I love the way the record meshed together because nobody held back, but everybody kept their own style. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I love friendly competition. So she's the anchor on the record. She's the vet. Much respect to her on that. But everybody showed up and showed out.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. And yes, NJ the AK was also mentioning Moni Love just dropped that new EP as well.
Yeah, shout out to Moni Love. Shout out to Shorty No Mas. Both of them, did their thing on the record and really was excited about, being a part of it. And that's all you can ask for.
Speaking on your ear for production, I noticed Motif Alumni, who I'm a fan of, had a few tracks on here.
Shout out to Motif Alumni. I love him. He's a little gifted genius, not little grown man, but he's gifted. He's very gifted.
Very.
Right, he came through in the clutch. A couple records had to be switched out, and I sent it to him. Just the bare vocals. It wasn't that long. He sent it back bopping like it's updated. I was just like, this kid is something different. He different. Shout out to him and the Rucker Collective. Doing his thing, he's
Absolutely.
growing, and
Yes.
I have no doubt in my mind he's going to be amazing. His career will span for a while because his knowledge of music, and the way he plays. His sister's amazing singer. Like just talented family.
Indeed, indeed. And for those who are fans of Motif alumni, go check out that new song Dreamin', which also has that 45 vinyl out. The important part of any album, and it was mentioned before, being cohesive. Um, how did you go through, every track to the proper sequencing and who you wanted on each track?
How did I know? Oh, I didn't know. No, no, that's all, Mr. Walt. What? No, no, seriously, we fought, we
Mr.
battled, we
Walt?
fought, we battled, we fought. No, no, seriously, no. That and him teaching me, informing, and him and DJ Evil D, like, I really the flow of it, it really piggybacked off of their record because they were putting out their record around, the same time. So,
Mhm.
I learned in the process, from Femme Fatale onto this one, but definitely it was a collaborative effort in that.
All right. Nice, nice. Yes, it's very important.
It is,
You-
and that's an art form within itself.
Yep.
Just being able to, have a flow to it, and people teaching me, and I'm kind of stubborn, so but I am open and I'm flexible to learning. But it will. It's the difference between a great record and an okay record, like Ready to Die. It's a cohesive album. Snoop Dogg's record, you know what I mean? It's a continue. You can follow it just like you follow a song. You're supposed to be able to follow it.
Yeah.
I think that's the way
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like to make records.
hmm And being that you said the Beat Minds were working on it at the same time as their album, Stifle Creativity,
Yes,
definitely go check that out as well.
right. I'm on the album. Yeah, shout
Yes,
out
you
to
are.
them.
Yes, you
And
are.
I'm on. I did a couple voices too. So that's what I was talking about my different the Rascast record. Another record. The record I did with I have my own a solo record on there, and then the one with Keith Murray. That's my voice too. Then I just did a record for John Jiggs. I had did a voice for him. He called me like, Marquita, I got this. Can you do it? And I was just like, I could do somebody else. Yeah. Just like when Skanks had asked me to come and do a joint with him, I got to be a villain.
Amazing. You just brought up Keith Murray, and he laced the track with Mr. Cheeks and Monifa, Party Freak.
Yeah, man.
Once again, the Beat Miners did their thing.
Yes. He's amazing. It was so much fun that session. He literally went in there and just became Keith Murray. I was like, wow. Came out, was his normal self.
They always bring that energy too.
And Cheeks just blessed me. Oh yeah, shout out to Mr. Cheeks. How could I even not? The way he blessed me. Shout out to the original DJ Sage for making that happen. But he showed me love and gave the record that bounce. And then Mo Bars is on there, and you know, we got it popping. But it's a fun record.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, for me, now that you got the music back flowing in you, and you're in a different space, how does it feel overall knowing that you just released this album and the reception that you've been getting from it, from what I've been seeing on social media?
This album just felt like it felt like it needed to happen. There were so many obstacles thrown in my way, so many people that didn't want this album to come out and actually tried to speak it into existence. So many things I had to fight, and so many, I just knew that this was an important record. And then when it dropped on the day that my dad passed, I knew I was right.
Well said, well said. Like you
You
said,
know, people
it
can't
happened
stop
for a
what's
reason.
meant to be.
Yep.
And that was my main goal, to get this record out and have people hear, and get into what I'm saying. I put a lot of, I actually got a grant to finish the record from the city of New York Women's Foundation. Shout out to them. I was doing events, networking, music events for local artists in Far Rockaway. And now I'm relocated to Jersey and hope to continue that with the opening of Marquee Melody Studios.
Nice. Nice. Mm. Now, how did the publishing come into play?
I've been writing. I started out as a writer, and that's the way I was taught. I was taught how to go get your money. You're not getting paid without your publishing. It's a hard conversation to have, but you practice it, and you do what you got to do. It is the music business, and that's what people forget.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't go into surgery without knowing what you're doing or having the right credentials. People think that it's, you just walk into it and, you make money, that you're not going to make any money. And no, you didn't get jerked. No, you didn't get jerked. What happened was you didn't do what you were supposed to do,
Supposed to do. Mm-hmm.
and do your due diligence, because it is your job and anyone's lawyer's job or their team to get whatever outrageous things that they ask for. But if you accept it, that's on you.
True.
I see a
True.
lot of artists, people, oh, they want the fame, they're thirsty, they just, just sign anything, and then you complain later. You can't. You can, but you feel where I'm coming from.
Yep.
It's all
So
in the
tell.
fine prints.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely is. So tell us more about Marquee Melodies Music Publishing, like overall, like
I've been writing for a
clients
long
and everything
time.
like that. Yeah.
Right. So I have two publishing companies. It's Marquee Melodies Music, and that's ASCAP, and then there's Key Creations BMI. So I had it split. So the earlier work, the stuff like with Queen Latifah and Light, and stuff like that, it's split. With and now, because I had to get my business in order. I can't preach it and teach it if I ain't walking it. You got to understand. I read books. Yes, books.
Mm. That's how it's got to be. Now, I wanted to play an older track because I'm cool with DJ DeVito, and I wanted to play something a little older that you did with him, and that
Neighborhood Sickness.
it's living. I'm sorry, living our dreams.
Yeah. Living
So
our dreams. Shout out to DJ DeVito. Neighborhood Sickness.
let me get that up real quick.
I remember that record. I think Napoleon was around. Yeah, we did.
Let me see. There we go.
M-O-N, money over niggas. Catch me on stage doing shows with crate diggers. Late great niggas, hold the sour ciggers. Recite your little poems and go home, we go bigger. Bring your people, bring your man, bring your best game. You can never be a threat to Marquee on your best day. It's my worst day, I'm just too freaky with the wordplay. Sexy in stilettos and jeans, real curvy. Waist cinched in, you got basic bitch syndrome. Yo, H just a symptom, so why you lying on the Christian? Spit religious, shitting on you sissy bitches. Move through the crowd, all I hear is hisses. That slum thought philosophy, when I die they gon' honor me. Once I get a taste in the flow, it's no stopping me. Fast flipping cash, getting money, having beige bitch. You're trash talking ass kiss, or nothing gon' change. Don't worry about us, we live in our dreams. Never focus on the leeches, can't get nothing from me. It's all about the grind, the life in the green. How we spread the wealth and show love to the team. You all about the tripe, the lies and the schemes. Keep circling, the vultures can't get nothing from me. Fake crooks do jokes with grimy niggas they feed. You can try me, but you never succeed. My circle so small it's a dot. I know it's somebody somewhere right now gunning for my spot. Bloodsuckers, I'm a clock. You can't take what I got. Every day I say my prayers with my man, make it a lot. Got a BS and BS, a masters and bastards. Whole star for attention and get bypassed like gastric. Follow procedures. To my pockets I pledge allegiance. So crabs and bottom feeders feel the pinch like tweezers. Only jellyfishes wish me hate, cause I ain't gotta go under the knife to fix my face. The ass is tight, food's good, pussy is great. I asked your man, but he couldn't relate. A twist of fate, it's not just blood ties could keep me loyal. When your lies so deep that your hands is soiled, I work hard to enjoy the spoils. Life is golden, plus I walk like a queen, so that makes me royal. Don't worry about us, we live in our dreams. Never focus on the leeches, can't get nothing from me. It's all about the grind, the life in the green. How we spread the wealth and show love to the team. You all about the tripe, the lies and the schemes. Keep circling, the vultures can't get nothing from me. Fake crooks do jokes with grimy niggas they feed. You can try me, but you never succeed. Label me the temptress, the neighborhood sickness. Just vibing with my dudes, got the slab by the benches. Weary on the kinships, ball with a vengeance. Roar like Kill Bill in the dark with my ninjas. Me and Zabito, balls be all lethal. Bang it in the paint, and one with the free throw. Number one draft pick when we spin, it's all plastic. Every single classic, add to my assets. Unstoppable, poetically diabolical. You clowns is too comical, but I could bring the drama too. Pop niggas like bubble wrap. Lead a scene, never double back. Females wanna step to this, but I ain't having none of that. You twerking ball hop, we approving floor plans and car shop. I see your jaw drop, jealousy hitting cause we on top. Sure shot, aim high up, skies is limitless. Keep sitting on your ass, talking shit, collecting benefits. Don't worry about us, we live in our dreams. Never focus on the leeches, can't get nothing from me. It's all about the grind, the life in the green. How we spread the wealth and show love to the team. You all about the tripe, the lies and the schemes. Keep circling, the vultures can't get nothing from me. Fake crooks do jokes with grimy niggas they feed. You can try me, but you never succeed.
Living our dreams.
Yes.
Shout out DJ DeVito.
Yes.
You've mentioned before being grateful to God has helped you to keep going. What else in life keeps you humble?
What keeps me humble is God. God. Oh, you thought it was gonna be like a long answer?
No. That's all right.
I keep it that simple.
You know, that the positive thing about with life is a lot of people go through things and you just never know when is going to be that moment where you see what's going to keep me going forward.
Yes.
It's not always just going to be a person saying something to you. It could be a certain situation. And like, you know, life, you just never know when that's going to be.
No, you're right.
You just got to make that decision at that moment. What is it that you're going to do to keep going?
Right.
The next thing I was curious about is you got the company going, you're doing the songwriting, you show your amazing ear for production, and of course the MCing. What else is it that Marquee is doing in her life right now?
Marquee tees. I do my own merch. I do merch for other artists. Heat press, DTF, customizations. I see if you follow my IG, Marquee the One, you'll see a lot of. I wear a lot of it, and it's part of my business. Yes. So that's another thing that I do, and I mentor. I'm a substitute teacher, and yeah.
Is there family members that you know that you saw doing what you do as well and helping others?
Yeah, my mom, my family, yes. My mother definitely. Yeah, I saw that around me a lot. But it's all who you help, the right people. That's what you gotta
Mhm.
learn. That's what
Yeah,
you gotta learn.
yeah.
When help becomes hinder, then then you have to pivot to self-preservation and you know
Start
other
severing
things. But
ties. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. Other producers on here. Um, Jake One, amazing. How'd you link up with him?
Walt Walt made the connect. He had a relationship with him, and he reached out to him to do the track. I love the track. I haven't spoke to him about it yet, but I thought we did. It came out really good together. But definitely, Mr. Walt, he did um the he made that happen.
All right. Got a big shout out once again to the Blue
Yeah,
Line.
man.
I as a person that grew up on them and the whole boot camp click and to still see what they do now. I've seen Evil D plenty of times at shows DJing and you know that enjoyment that you can see in them and to hear you speak of them still of what they're doing behind the scenes and not just production, you know, it makes me feel good about hip hop in general, that we still have that we grew up on still doing what they enjoy, like yourself.
Yes.
And it's not only that you enjoy it, this is quality music that you're bringing out for us to enjoy, support, and let others still know about.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's definitely right. I mean, a lot of people even sampling, records from a certain era. People miss a fun time in music where you didn't get shot at a show and you could just like go and dance and, have fun. Don't get me wrong, people got shot in the jams and all of that stuff. I mean, that's not. I mean, I didn't get to go to a lot of those, but uh, what I tell people, like even the people that I mentor or other artists, I say they go, "Oh, you still doing that?" When it's part of you, it's part of you. It's like
Hmm.
I can't not do it. Like if that makes any sense. And what happens is, as you age, your fans age, right? So makes sense. I try to make timeless music. I make timeless music, and good songs they last forever.
Very true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to DJ a lot, and my uncle is the one that got me into it. So there was a certain time where I just had just one turntable, and the itch is still always going to be there, and I was
Yeah.
still buying records, so it never really stopped. But at one point, I said, it's time to get another turntable again. So I'd say like the past few years now, in the morning before I go to work, I go on there. Weekends, go on there, and it still feels good.
Right. So you get what I'm saying.
Yep. Jake Palumbo. You brought him up because he did the engineering work on here.
The mixing, yeah,
Mix.
most of the mixing, a majority of it.
What's your? Because I always like to ask this. What's your personal experience of working with him?
He's very professional
Mhm.
and very learned about his craft.
Because almost every person that says that they work with him, it's almost a similar answer almost every time. So
Yeah,
shout
I
out to the whole
mean,
Space Lab recording studio.
yeah, it's a certain level.
And who haven't we not spoke about off the new album? Um, OJ, the producer. I,
Right.
I've
Yes.
seen. I know his solo work, and I know he's worked with El Camino.
Well, OJ, Lord Josiah, shout out to Lord Josiah,
That's right.
Buck
Yep.
Wild, Rockwaller, all those folks on there too.
Yep. Mhm. Like I said, you got the ear. Mm. And then with the features, Craig G from the Juice Crew as well.
Oh yes, that side. Shout out to Craig G, yo. He blessed me. And it was an organic thing. Here come original DJ Sage again. Plugging the plug. So we all had a little meeting in Rochdale. It was an iconic meeting. Now that I think back, it was Sage, Craig G, and Rockwaller, and we were all listening to the records that I'd done. And Craig G was just like, I want to be on that record. I couldn't
Mm.
believe it. I was like, what? And once I got his vocals back, and I was so excited about just doing a record with him, and the way he blessed it was like the perfect creepy hip hop dope for that record. You know what I mean? He went directly into the into he went in, and then that last part, when it's like a fade he did, like people normally do that in mixing, and he did it on the mic. I was amazed.
Mm.
On the mic, yeah. hmm Shout out to Craig G.
Indeed. And Pudgy the Fat Bastard.
Yes. Yes, Fudgy the Fat Bastard, the record we did, we were working on songwriting, and he was doing more of the songwriting and singing because he's wrote a tremendous amount of records. Pudgy is one of the most talented people I know overall, like all the way around. And organically we came up with that record, and he was vulnerable enough to let me put it out, and yeah, that's what we got, a beautiful mix, and a story. A lot of that story in that record is real life.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Pudgy, the Fat Bastards. That's my dude. PX Queens.
Yeah. And what I love is, there's a lot of artists when they get singers on the album, it sometimes turns out to be not as much as in the realm of hip hop. And then there's artists that know how to meld the two together and just make it a dope song. So I
Right.
got to give a shout out to Rel, who blessed this album as well.
Yes. Shout out to Rel from Rock. Well, formerly of. I don't want to say that's Rel right there because he done made a name for himself
So, yep.
over and over and over again. He blessed that record for me. And trusted the writing process. You know, he's a writer. And a lot of times people that are writers, they won't sing your words, you know, or they, you know, but and he put his twist on it and gave it that feel that I was looking for. Like, you know, he's definitely that ghetto serenade with
Mhm.
that deep soulful voice that just feels like you back home. Um, he's I believe from the South. My family's from the South. No, the record just came out phenomenal. And Buck Wild on production can't lose.
Yep. Hmm.
So shout
And
out to
and
Rel for that. Thank you.
I like what Rel did throughout the entire song because he didn't just do the hook. When you listen, it's his vibe in the vocals as you're rhyming is perfect for this track.
Right, him and a writer that I work with, Obeze, we were, you know, we got underneaths, and there's some layers and textures in that song. If you like, dissect it.
What made you choose the name Black Orphan for this album?
Black Orphan represents me being born again through music. Feeling like I had no parents at the time or no like direction in a way, even though I did, and not taking anything away from them. This is definitely metaphorical, you know, and very like artsy, creative thinking. But uh, Black Orphan represented me being reborn again through music. I
Hmm.
say it on the record,
Hmm.
and I explain it in the beginning of the record.
I think you chose the right way with the intro to really establish how this album was going to be.
Yes, we worked on the intro, and like I said, everything is it followed each other. Um, it's a continuous story of my life, of people around me, their life, my aspirations, my dreams, my inner thoughts, um, etc.
Slim Goody. I wasn't too familiar with the name, but you definitely made sure I remember after listening to the tracks that they were on.
I Slim Goody was introduced to me by an artist that worked with Granddaddy IU on his records, his early records, and he thought that we would click. She's a songwriter and she's a singer. She's an amazing singer with this raspy voice and this I don't know. Her vocal ability definitely comes from God. She's from Brooklyn,
Hmm.
and I sent her the track. Motif alumni produced the track. I sent her the track, and I trusted her with it. And I normally don't do that. And she sent back the hook, and I just added on, and we just built, and then that's what we came out with organically. She's amazing.
Hmm.
Shout out to Slim Goody, Flatbush all day.
Yeah, and the vibe is different when she's on the track Paper Chaser.
Yeah, right. So we continued on to work. You know, one was just like I got it as soon as she said it. Like people were like, what are you? She's saying live your and that was a clever way to say you know live your life for yourself, but without being selfish. Live your life but not selflessly. Did I say that in the right way? Selflessly, but not
I believe
selfishly.
you did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Selflessly, but not
Selfless,
selfishly.
selfless. Yeah.
Right. So
Yep.
that you're right. So and then on on the next record that we did when we were in Ronkonkoma, I think out there working in Long Island. I think near Def Squad Studios, not the same studio, but yeah, we just started adding on and adding on. I got to do a bridge. I like doing like the different things creatively and musically, and I'm not afraid to take risks. And we did, and I love the way it came out. Took me back to my Glee Club chorus days when you putting different harmonies together, and people
Mhm.
are singing one thing and some people are singing the other thing, like the Black National Anthem type thing. Not comparing my song to that. Now, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying the arrangement.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. There's not too many artists who are doing what you do. You know, you learn and use your experience with the music business to do more than just be an MC, just more than be a songwriter. And you also use that to propel with the businesses and educate others, which is, that's a beautiful thing because there's a lot of young artists who really have no clue what they're stepping into.
Well, yeah, it's all connected. It's definitely all connected, or I feel like it should be.
My next question is, again, the album is available on vinyl right now for those. Definitely go get that from the Rap Winkle. I want to know, are
It's
we
gonna
going to
be
get any?
available on Fat Beats as well. There's a Louboutin red bottom, red limited edition to the Black Orphan album.
Okay, nice. You
Yeah.
you you know you having a date when that's going to be available
It'll be up in the next week,
next
but you
week?
can
Okay,
definitely infer it in not infer. You can definitely DM the Rap Winkle
okay, nice, nice.
or reach out to them.
Yeah, let me put that link up one more time. Those who go and support that. Is Marquee going to give us any visuals from this ill
I
album?
I am, I am, I am, I am. Like I was telling you before, things got delayed and things kind
Mhm.
of just. But everything happens in God's time, the way it's supposed to happen. I'm working on it. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of video, but there is one being
Mhm.
edited.
Okay,
So any day now,
nice, nice. Mm.
we're gonna do a couple videos for this record. Solid record. I love the record. I hope people are listening to it. I've gotten all great feedback from it. I haven't gotten any bad feedback from it. So this is what I wanted the world to hear. So now the visuals got to match the music, got to match the art.
Yep, in due time, in due
Hmm.
time. So it doesn't matter what genre. What music are you listening to right now?
Well, when I'm writing, I'm not writing right now, but when I'm writing, I don't listen to anybody else's music.
Hmm.
If that makes sense, because I don't want to
Yeah,
be
it does. Definitely
subconsciously
does.
like influenced. Like you thinking like, oh, I came up with this dope idea, and then it's like somebody else's idea,
Hmm.
because in the back of your mind, what I mean, that you just. So I mean, I listen to all types of music. I like rock music. I like jazz music. Um, I play classical music for my little guys when I'm doing art projects in school. Um,
It's a great tool right there. Yeah.
yeah, it is. And just to watch the frequency, and then how they change, because they're like, Miss M, you play uh different kind of music, and I'll put that on and I'll watch them, and then I'll see how they change. I'll play the classical music, which makes studies have shown it makes children more intelligent. So I'll play that and I just watch the room change. So the thing with
Yeah.
frequency is so very, 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 very valid.
Indeed. Indeed. Yep. Ooh. So I will be anticipating those visuals.
Yes, they're coming. I will let you know as soon as possible. I can't wait. So far, so good. And we're gonna do some more, and we're gonna, yeah, do some justice for this record. The visuals, the match, the art. to match the, because everybody did such a fantastic job with the artwork, the photos, just everything. So yeah, we got to do it justice. So everybody look out for that. Look out for the videos and anything pertaining to Marquee Blockshare Inc. or in anything like that.
All right. I have two more questions before we go tonight. One is, you studied, you definitely studied, and you read books to definitely help you to where you are now. What is there one key book that stuck out that you would recommend to us?
I read the first edition of Donald Passman, Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business. And I did highlights and notes, and that's how I got my first record deal.
Nice. Go look that up.
Hmm. He has so many more editions now. Things have changed technologically and all that since
Mhm.
then. But every single last one of those books, I suggest any artist, because you don't have to read it from front to back, just like the power books, laws of power books.
Right.
Some
Yeah.
of them are reference type index. You flip around, but it definitely. I mean, he has new ones now that are uh, more geared to the digital age, of course.
And my last question for tonight. We know what your given name is. Tell us why you went with Marquee.
Marquee is because I think my name's supposed to be up in lights. Marquee.
Ah,
It's really simple. It's not
there
deep.
you go.
I felt like my name was supposed to be up in lights with a better name, Marquee.
That's on point.
That's the Pisces in me.
That's dope.
It's the truth. Oh, you thought I was gonna say something deep, right?
Nah,
Well, I
everyone's
had a
origin
key,
is
and then
different.
I was in Del Mar. No.
Everyone's origin is different. It's just, interesting to find out where it comes from.
Well, it was La Femme Marquita. It evolved, like I said. I had
Hmm.
different names, like most artists go through a couple different, names before they land on what feels right, what clicks.
So, Marquis, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And for everyone that's tuning in, I hope you enjoyed this. We definitely look forward to coming back once again in the future. And again, the album Black Orphan is out now for you to go and order from the Rap Wingo Records.
Go get it. Thank you for having me, HHDG Media. And everyone that supports the record, keep on supporting, keep making good hip hop, pay it forward. Love the people and give them their roses while they're here. And
Absolutely.
the future can be good. Don't ever stop.
Yeah, it is. Before we go, if there's any other shout outs or any words of wisdom you want to give, go ahead.
Again, I just want to shout out to everybody that worked on the record, everyone that showed patience with me and do this labor of love. Shout out to all the people that passed away during the making of this record, and the people who lost people recently. Rest in peace to Alan Cole. He passed away recently, and that was someone that I did merch for and that I was very fond of. Um, Lorenzo Ferguson, and uh, I would say life is, I don't want to say short because it can be long if you make the wrong decisions, right?
Yeah,
So what I would say is be kind and treat others how you want to be treated.
that's perfect. Always keep it on the positive. On behalf of
You can tell I'm not one of those people that they're like, it's the camera, Marquita. It's the video.
On behalf of our HHDG Media crew, we're going to say thank you and peace.